Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Andor. We're now on to season 2, episode 11, which is called Who Else Knows? So last episode, we have lost Luthen. That was basically what we saw. Unfortunately, Dedra, that little chihuahua on a bone, she went right back into the project that she was on before, of trying to bring down the Empire and all the people involved, and she got onto Luthen. And we see that Luthen's contact within the Empire was managed to just give him enough time to try and, burn as much as he could before, they came to get him. But unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of time because Dedra went off script and went after Luthen early. So Luthen was only able to destroy a portion of the evidence that he wanted to. And he unfortunately had to sacrifice himself for the cause so that they couldn't use him for more information about the larger network of rebellion. But as I said, because not all of his stuff was destroyed, I have no doubt they're going to mine something that's going to be pretty useful for them. And we also got to see the backstory between Clea and Luthen, how they got so close, the nature of their relationship, which is also very bittersweet to watch as well. So that's where we ended it. Oh, also in the fact that Luthen was given information about a large weapon that was being built by the Empire, and how everything that they're doing with Gorman, etc., was all just a front to cover for the fact that they're doing this. And as I said, I'm pretty certain they're talking about the Death Star. So we'll have to see what Clea does with that information now, because she literally is kind of the new Luthen now. She's the only one who has this information, and she looks like she managed to escape the clutches of the Empire on Coruscant. So ready to jump into this episode? Let's do that. Just before I do, if you'd like to know when I drop episodes, please hit the subscribe button as well as that notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now.
This is an ISB crime scene. If you're slowing me down, you're a suspect. Suspects need to be questioned. That means transport and custody.
Abuse of authority. Very, very Empire-like.
You've made your point.
Make sure the doors stay locked. I need immediate...
Look at the smirk on this guy's face. Ugh. People are gonna die for your loserness, but okay. You gonna treat her like you treat all the other prisoners? Maybe put her under a mind control machine, smack her around a bit? Something tells me you're not. He's clearly gonna let her go. I don't know why we're going with all these theatrics.
What single thing would drag me to this forsaken base?
Not forsaken, but he said you a bottom feeder girl.
Say it. Say the word.
Why are you breathing so close?
Death Star.
Oh, we got Death Star.
Who else? No.
Exactly.
They were close. It's possible. Young was a busybody, always on the fringes.
When did you give him your code cert?
Excuse me? Young.
Absurd.
Your motivations are far less pressing than the extent of your betrayal.
If Young had my cert, then he stole it.
Prove it. Prove it. Not getting down to your level. He is pissed. The Emperor is very tight right now.
Orbital progress assessments. We do research.
So you were doing your own digging. Uh-huh.
Jeddah working group printouts.
Yeah, you left a
File
big fat
exhibit.
package, didn't you, Dedra?
Supervisor Young spent 3 hours last night logged into your account.
Damn! Yeah, that's on you, Dedra. That's all you, girl. I don't even feel sorry for your ass. Because if you left Access alone, this wouldn't have happened.
Rather than being directed my way, was buried and became something I had to scavenge
How
for.
terribly perplexing. With the mindless decision to confront Luthen Rail on your own.
That was mindless. You was too eager, girl.
You missed your calling.
Ooh. He said you a rebel, girl. You trash.
We need agents at every transit point we can cover.
We'll do our best to carry on without you.
Oh, he pissed. He getting physical twice with you, girl? You pissed her off. I think she figured out that he's dead. See what happens when you try to be too much of an overachiever, girl?
Roll back 1 hour.
That we can do.
This guy's so unserious. I love it.
Then I'll only have to tell you once to shut up and get busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where he's like, bro, you came to my office. Who'd ever want to work for the Empire? You have to be so unbelievably rigid. Like the stick up your butt goes straight to your trachea. Like, is it even worth it? Couldn't do it. She's still in Coruscant? She needs to get out. If she is. She is. Oh my God, Clea, you need to get out of Coruscant immediately. What are you doing, girl? Clea, what are you doing, girl? I was gonna say she could maybe get comms, but the Empire, if what's his face, Sir Capes-a-Lot there is already realizing Death Star info got out. There's no way he's gonna want comms leaving Coruscant that he's not watching. Comms. Well, let's hope they can go outside the Empire.
It's like she's turning away.
Mm-hmm.
She knows there's a camera.
Of course.
There's no team.
Nope.
It's only her.
She's that badass. Y'all thought it was 3 people. Shows you once again, you Empire people is behind. That's the best she can do. I'm a feeling Clea is not getting off Coruscant. And she's going to have to do exactly what Luthen had to do in order to make sure they don't get more. Because she's got just as much info, if not more, than Luthen does. She was literally his information person. Oh, look at you, hop along. You coming around?
I, unlike you, have never cheated. I have my own tiles to focus
No,
on.
they chilling with the robot now? That's where we're at? We went from them trying not to shoot it to now they playing dominoes with the robot?
Yo.
Wow. That reprogramming must be thorough.
Statistically measurable.
Be careful. He's trying to droid you.
Droid it. With so little on the board. Humans key.
Sometimes things don't require logic, robot.
This is your last chance to recall your
I'm glad to see Cassian laughing, though. We have not seen that man chill since, like, season 1.
There will be no horizon to the scope of your inquiry, nor will there be any limit to your
He's
effort.
like, this is your life now, bro. Cancel all your plans. Every single one.
She escaped the hospital with an infectious condition.
Oh, that's much smarter.
Found before thousands.
That is smarter. Damn, these guys are evil.
Still doing here.
That is true. People they're not going to risk their health or rebellion. There's a lot of people sympathetic to that cause, but this makes more sense.
You sound like talking.
It's a miracle we've kept it quiet this long.
We're moments away. Days.
You said that 6 months ago.
You have a plague to stop, and I was due in Scara 2 hours ago.
Well, get going.
Best of luck to us both.
Right? We both screwed, he said. We both in this ish together. Why are you yelling at me? On the wrong side of history. Poor girl. This is the first time she has been scared.
When was the last time it was tested?
It works, Cass. I keep it charged.
Thank you.
Cass.
Don't do women like that.
Who are we hiding from?
He's asking valid questions, guys. He's like, I'm new. Help.
We need a flight plan.
It's a test, Ron. We're not filing a flight plan.
Okay.
I hear the Rev not talking.
He's like, he's drunk. Clearly, he's clearly intoxicated. Because why else would he do this? No, I'm glad this Cass is reacting. This is why she wanted to contact Cass, because she knew. As much as Cass said, I'm tired of this ish, he was born for it. He really was. Like, he knows they wouldn't dare.
You are hearing that, aren't you?
Nope. Not hearing a thing.
Would you like to know how many?
Nope.
17.
Damn, this robot got attitude. Anyone else knows robots got some attitudinal problems? They ain't gonna do nothing to her. As much as they're annoyed, she actually did their work for them. And she is smarter than most of the people working on this. She will figure out where Clea is before they would.
His assistant infiltrated the hospital.
Is it killed? He was effectively dead. You guys kept him alive.
I came for advice.
Why would I do that?
As it stands, you're going nowhere.
What else are you going to do?
I've just pushed out a massive search package, but you know as well as I do that she's too smart to go where they're looking.
Didn't I say? She's going to figure out where Clea is before anyone else. That's why I kind of wish she could have put a blaster in her head before she left, but Clea had bigger things to worry about.
There was a radio on Ferrix. Anto Krieger had one. We found several of them. Old frequencies. Pulse codes.
See? I knew she'd be a problem.
Luthen rail whistles and you two come running.
Listen, this was an emergency call.
Not to mention the fact that he saved their lives.
You can run him down all you want. But the truth is, none of this would be here without Luthen.
Exactly.
None of this.
Clock it. Clock it. Y'all love to come down on Luthen for what he ain't doing instead of like recognizing what he did do. I'm not saying Luthen's perfect, but please give the man credit where it was due. Did a lot more than a lot of y'all would have been willing to do. Sacrificed a lot more too. I bet you that guy right there wouldn't be willing to die for the cause, quite literally.
They spliced it into a metro tower next door. They've been using Imperial broadcast power for who knows how long.
She's a geek. Don't be mad at her. That's what we do. We geek about things that are interesting. Come on. If it's genius, it's genius.
Plate 7 grid. 3561 East.
How's he gonna get her out? I don't think he's gonna be able to get her out.
Level 5124.
But I guess she can't give that information. There just is too much because it's pulse code, right?
I just hope they're still there.
I've been to Coruscant. I was in a parade there.
Thank you. Thank you. No one asked. She has no choice. I was like, she had to know they'd go back, but she probably did not anticipate, which she should have.
Pump check.
I don't like it here.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Damn. Why is he like a petulant teenager? Such an interesting turnaround. I would not have expected that from that droid.
On site, all clear.
This is so nerve-wracking. I feel like they should know better, but I keep forgetting that like Cassian has been chilling on a rebel moon for how long now? Just chilling.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh no is right, but what do you do? Actually, you could probably, I don't know, he could probably masquerade. Can he pretend? Can a droid pretend? Can a droid act? You know it's got to be Cassian, girl. They wouldn't rap on the door for him. The Empire would just kick that thing down. Come on now.
It would be you, wouldn't it?
Can we do this later, please?
Where's Luthen?
He's gone. Let's go!
Floors 26, 27, and 28 west. We'll work our way up.
God. I mean, no, it's good. I mean, more people need to know it's the only way, because if she was the single point of failure, if they took her, but I need them to move. Like, sense of urgency, please.
Luthen died for this.
We cannot stay here, Clea.
That's right.
And go away.
I don't know, maybe not get captured and tortured. How about that, Claire? Can we go? Cassian's very aware of what happens when the Empire gets hold of people and starts torturing them. Can we go? But I know Claire is a complete mess right now. She tried to hold it together. She really did.
I'm not leaving you here.
You're gonna have to. If she don't want to go, that is, because she's got to go. She either goes with you, Cassian, or she goes. Although really taking her with you at this point is more dangerous. Although now you guys are going to be on the list. This is such a mess. Oh, really? Sorry to be disturbing you, bro. You having a nice little coffee break? Oh, can an old lady get her breakfast? God.
Get those comms working.
You left us anyway. You left us behind.
We don't have time for this. Can y'all fight on the jet? Let's go.
You owe him now.
You do. Meanwhile, the way that Kay's gonna save y'all. Rude! They said you gotta see that in the finale, girl. We're gonna wrap that up one more time. That was a shorter episode. I was like, wait, that felt shorter. It was. All right, guys. Well, yeah, I mean, we're leading up to the end of all of it, you know, wrapping up this whole situation that led to what we saw in Rogue One, which I'm not going to lie. I watched Rogue One so long ago that I honestly have forgotten a good chunk of it. I'm not going to lie, but I do know how this whole thing ends. So it's so interesting to kind of watch the lead up. And I mean, kudos to the show for still making it so engaging for those of us who probably watched Rogue One already and kind of know where this is all leading. But I think they did a really good job of kind of keeping the suspense going in these moments like this. But yeah, this one again, like, I don't want to call it filler, but I do feel like they definitely didn't need to split this into two. I think they could have definitely done what we saw in this episode and whatever they're probably going to do in the finale together. But we'll see. I'll have to see what they put, because the finale is going to have kind of the big bang wrap up of this as far as, you know, what leads us into, as I mentioned, Rogue One. But I think the main things to take away from this one is I want to just kind of talk about Clea really quickly. You know, Clea, she's since season one, all we've ever seen of Clea is calm, cool, collected, right? She's always just so on point and always so razor sharp, and she seems very unflappable, right? I think it's one of the reasons why Luthen depended on her so much, is because she was so steady, so to speak, and very cool under pressure for the most part, right? He'd be starting to freak out and she'd be like, whoa, bring it back, right? But this episode, we see for the first time, she is freaked. Like, she is rattled to her core, and rightfully so. Like, this is the craziest things have gotten for her, really, I think. And it's not even, actually, let me take that back. She's probably been in similarly crazy situations, but she always had Luthen, right? Luthen was kind of her anchor. That was her thing that kind of kept her sane in all of this, was a subconscious knowledge that Luthen was still there. But this is the first time she's really on her own. And, you know, again, I said it last episode, she had to get through. She knew she had to make sure that Luthen wasn't taken alive. So she was on mission. She had a reason to focus, which allowed her to kind of put her grief to the side. But now that she's had this time to just sit in this safe house waiting with nothing else to do, you can see that it's all hitting her, right? That the grief is hitting her, the sadness, the fear, the sense of loneliness. And she's like I said, she was shaken, really shaken. And I think even Cassian was surprised to ever see her like that. And she's to the point where she's like, no, like, I can't go anywhere. Like, I'm passing the message because that's what Luthen would want me to do, is make sure that this information gets out there. But, you know, that's it for me. And Cassian, I think it's so funny. Like, I love that Clea brought it back to him about, like, didn't you say you were done? Like, why are you here? Why are you trying to save me? But that's Cassian, right? And that's one of the reasons why I agreed with, that's one of the reasons why I agreed with Bix's decision to leave Cassian, because Cassian is built for this. Like, it literally, like, the fact that as soon as Willman told him that the radio went off and he saw that the radio signal was real, he didn't think, he didn't wait, he didn't reason. He grabbed his coat, said, here's the plan, we're getting out of there, I gotta go, right? Without a thought, because that's Cassian. Right. And Bix knew that. As much as Cassian hated certain aspects of this whole life, he's born for it. He's so good at it. Like, he literally just, it's as natural as breathing for him, quite frankly. Like, that's kind of what he was born to do. And, you know, we heard that Force healer say that Cassian was meant to be in certain places and to do a certain thing. And that's why I feel like these things go so easily for him. And so anyways, but all of that to say that despite all that he said a couple episodes ago about being done and all that kind of stuff, there in an instant, there for Luthen, who he complains about the most. And then we see that he wasn't willing to just leave Clea. Like, Clea basically, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's crashing out bad, right? Like, she is definitely not in her right mind right now, but you know, like, the fact is, Cassian, if he was the way that he said he was a few episodes ago, he should have been like, okay, well, thanks for the info, I'll go. If you don't want to come, I'm leaving. But he's like, I'm not leaving here without you. You got to come with me. Forget what I said. You said that I wasn't done. Like, he's there. He's trying to psychoanalyze her into getting onto this cruiser with her, right? And so, or with him, I should say. So, yeah, like, it just kind of shows that this is what Cassian was meant for, whether he likes it or not. He does believe in the cause. I think he tried to tell himself before he didn't, because it was getting hard, but he does care about it, and he does care about what has been sacrificed. And yeah, I do think that Bix making that decision for the both of them helped him get a little bit of backbone where that's concerned as well, and not be able to use her as an excuse anymore to go full tilt for what he cares about, or what he should care about. And so anyway, I just thought that was a very interesting turnaround. And I think I really love that Cassian is doing such a good job of, like, you know, like I said, Clea is crashing out hard. Like, she's frantic, she's all over, she's, you know, a bit nihilistic right now. And, you know, when she grabbed him and she was yelling at him and things, he could have definitely given her back that energy, but instead he just kind of gently put his hands on his shoulders and her shoulders. And he's like, okay. Right. Cause he can see she's grieving. He can see she's not okay. She lost her dad for all intents and purposes. And she's very scared. For the first time, I think Cassian's ever seen her genuinely scared. So I just love that Cassian switched into, you know, calm and protective mode in that moment, rather than, you know, trying to, you know, yell at her, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, like, negative responses he could have, is my point. And I really love that he knew to be more empathetic in that moment. And really, he's trying to coax her to care and to keep fighting for herself, right? Not to just give up here, because effectively the only family she has is gone now, right? I think Clea's big thing right now, she feels very alone. And like she said, like, everyone in Yavin, I know everyone at Yavin hates Luthen, so why am I going to go there? They're going to hate me too, and I'm going to have to fight everybody. And it's like, girl, they get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll get over it. But anyway, so that's kind of what's happening there. And then we see that, like I said, unfortunately, because Dedra is still alive, Dedra's not a dummy. She's a cow. She's crazy, but she ain't dumb. Right? She ain't dumb. So if there's anybody who eventually would probably take down a good chunk of the rebellion, it'd be her, because she does have the thinking. That guy, Captain Cape, he was not wrong when he said to her she missed her calling being a rebel spy, because she really does have the mind for it, right? She does think like them. Luthen definitely had his match in her. But anyway, yeah, she's still alive. And because she is able to think the way that Luthen, like she's been studying them for so long, she now knows how they think. She was, of course, able to figure out what Clea would do, because it's true. If she hadn't been there, if Sergeant, the little yappy wannabe there, hadn't gone down and asked her for advice on how to find Clea, they would have been too late. They wouldn't have even begun to know where to look for Clea. So sadly, I knew that was going to be what led them to her, was her. I was like, as soon as I saw Dedra, I'm like, she's going to be the one. She's the only one who understands what's going on enough. Like, yeah, she's in trouble right now, which that was a very interesting scene with her and Captain Cape, where he was basically like, okay, like, forget the fact. He's like, yeah. Okay, you went and saw, like, you were boneheaded and went after Luthen yourself. That already was dumb, but that's not even why I'm pissed at you. The reason I'm here, girl, is how the hell you was gathering information above your clearance all this damn time and keeping it all in one damn place that somebody could access? Right? For as smart as Dedra was, that was dumb. That was actually pretty dumb of her. Like, girl, you know you looking at you're not supposed to be looking at. You know who you work for. You know you work for a place that will wipe out planets without a second thought. And you thought keeping all that sensitive information you wasn't supposed to be looking at in one place was a good idea? You slipped, girl. You slipped. You slipped on that one. I can't even say, like, you fumbled that one. That is on you, girl. You should have had that stuff in so many different places. If you were going to keep that, you should have had some over here, a little bit over here. You should have had some hard copy. Like, you should have had that stuff distributed in places that could not be traced back to you. Instead, all the evidence in one place for Mr. Redhead there last episode to find easily and just go through skimming, including the Death Star plans. That alone, as soon as she came across that, she should have known to scatter that stuff somewhere or to put it someplace. Because if she'd really been thinking, she would have put that stuff in like several different places. The Death Star stuff, she should have put that in several different places in ways that only she could access it, and basically say, listen, I have some things set up, so anything happens to me, you don't move me up in the ranks, that stuff's going to go public before any of y'all going to be able to do anything to stop it. So what's it going to be? If she'd been smart. But anyway, thank God she fumbled, though, I guess, because literally I need her off the board. But the sad reality is that we'll see how it goes, but I can more so see someone like Dedra actually being promoted, because as much as, you know, Mr. Captain Cape is pissed right now, mostly because he also fumbled. Like, we saw Captain Cape and the other commander fighting in that room about the fact that if the leak is going to get, you know, they know they're both going to be on the hook for the leak when Palpatine finds out. But, you know, we heard the one guy say to Captain Cape, like, you said that this damn thing is supposed to be ready like 2 years ago. So, like, how you know how hard it is to keep a secret in this place when we're doing all these things to make this thing happen? People are going to ask questions. People aren't stupid. And at the same time, Captain Cape's like, yeah, but I know we're over schedule, but we didn't realize it was going to be this hard. Like, both of y'all, like, this should be your key. This should be your indicator to quit. This is a quit your job indicator when both y'all realize you're going to get an ish for something that is such a big, messy project you shouldn't be on in the first place. But I digress. But anyhow, I do think that because Dedra is pretty smart and she puts things together a lot better than clearly a lot of her superiors do, I feel like if Palpatine finds out about her, he's going to want to promote her. That's what's going to happen. Like, sadly, if they don't take Dedra out, she's going to end up right by Palpatine's side, because that's the kind of thinking Palpatine wants, especially because she understands how the rebels think now. So that's what's annoying about Dedra. She's a great villain. She is a great villain. But, you know, just, you know, the person who's on the side of the rogues here, like, I want her gone. But anyway, so that was the whole situation with Dedra. I thought that was an interesting conversation, though. Her and Captain Cape was a very charged, very interesting. It was very much like a father disciplining a child situation there. And it's interesting because someone in my comments once mentioned that, like, because Dedra was raised in the Empire and doesn't have family, like her own personal family, like, the Empire really is like her daddy to her, right? And so having someone scold her who effectively is a representation of her father, I felt that so much in this scene. Like that's kind of the energy I got of a dad being so disappointed in his kid kind of thing, right? And now she's mad at herself for making these mistakes and fumbling and for daddy not recognizing why she was doing all this, right? So anyway, so that was kind of Dedra. Again, we'll see next episode. Like I said, I would not be surprised if she ends up getting promoted. On the other side, yeah, we see that Cassian, like I said, he's on his way there. Oh, sorry, back. We'll talk about like back on the Rebel planet on Yavin. We see that, you know, everyone's kind of chilling there right now from what we can see. Like Cassian, as I said, seeing him laugh for like a straight 3-4 minutes this episode, that's the happiest we've seen him in a long time. I think that's good for him, right? He's been so wound up and serious and kind of low-key anxious since like, well, this whole season for sure, but even since like pretty much the middle of season 1, it was kind of nice to see him kind of remember what it is to be in the moment a bit more. So I was happy to see that. But we'll have to see how he takes things now because, you know, I know he had his mindsets about Luthen and his mindsets about what Luthen was about, but I do think he did respect him, you know, at the most basic level of their relationship. I do think he had respect for him, and I think he was a bit sad that Luthen went out like this. But we'll have to see what he takes for that information. Like I do think he's going to do his best to get Clea out of there. Gut's telling me Clea's not going to make it, but again, I think she has to kind of not make it, right? There's no way I mean, that's the thing though. Cassian is the kind of person I feel like that if it comes down to him having to sacrifice Clea, he'll do it because he knows what happened to Bix when she got left behind, and he would not do that to somebody else. So anyway, it's just good to know that. But we just got to give the shout outs and claps to Kay. Kay being the sassy teenage robot now, coming in and deciding to go rogue and just start messing up different Empire soldiers now to try to save these guys. He probably will be just that, the person to save them, because they are about to get surrounded because they're having this long moment and not thinking about. But again, like I said, I understand why Clea would not think that the Empire would be onto them, because normally they wouldn't be, you know, like she really underestimated Dedra. But anyway, but also I'm going to give her a pass though, because she's clearly also grieving. She's not in her right mind right now. But yeah, that's what's happening there. Then outside of that, we saw Wilman this episode. He's healed up for the most part, it looks like, from what happened last year. But we see, obviously, he brought that information to Cassian about what's going on back on Coruscant. And we see that the guy who's leading Yavin at the time, you know, he's giving Wilman all this attitude about, oh, you know, you're still running around for Luthen. Why are you still doing things for Luthen? And Wilman don't say much because he knew they were going to come down on him for, you know, creating the situation for Cassian to leave. But I love that Wilman basically said straight up, talk all the smack you want about Luthen, but you wouldn't be here. None of this would happen without Luthen. Luthen was an absolutely essential piece of why Yavin exists and why we have the freedom to be building something up here. Like, Luthen has literally been the spider in the works over in Coruscant and in the Empire's craw that's been able to give y'all heads up when you need it, be able to kill information that might lead things to you, be able to get people to safety when they do want to work for the cause. Like, as I said back in last episode, and even before in the beginning of the season, when people kept coming down on Luthen, like, I'm no Luthen lover. I'm not like a Luthen sympathizer or anything, but I'm looking at his character in general. Like I said, he's not perfect. He definitely could have been a lot nicer. There are definitely a lot more opportunities for him to be more endearing to people, but that aside, that's pretty much the biggest flaw that he had as far as like the Empire. He's still a person, you know, he's not perfect. Every single character in this series has got a flaw we could go deep into, but in the end, when it comes to the cause and what he was willing to do for it and what he did for it, like, Luthen was absolutely doing what he was supposed to do. He was very much an essential piece of all of this. Cassian owes Luthen his life. Wilman owes Luthen his life, right? A lot of people who are on Yavin right now probably owe Luthen their lives, either directly or indirectly. Luthen was putting his life on the line every single day, being in the belly of the beast. People didn't see that though, because he got to wear nice clothes and a lace front and, you know, got to enjoy a few luxuries here and there. But it was far, far more than that. Luthen has not had a peaceful night's sleep in God knows how long. Last episode we found since before he even met Clea, that man has not been sleeping well. Like, that man has not had an easy life by any stretch. That man was not a happy man by any stretch. He was doing what he needed to do for something he believed in, and he literally died for the cause, which I do think a lot of people on Yavin would not be willing to do. Right here, right now, I'm sure if the Empire showed up and Yavin with all their soldiers and said, die right now, take yourself out right now, or do as we say, at least half of them probably would go back with the Empire. Let's be 100. A lot of them would not have the guts to do what Luthen did. So, you know, I really love that Willman stood up for him. I mean, because Willman never had the vitriol or the vim for him that Cassian did at times, but still, like, you know, Willman, even though he's had his moments of kind of side-eyeing Luthen, he knows the value Luthen held, and the fact that Luthen, like I said, was like a true blue die for the cause rebel person, or rebellion. Well, no, it's rebel, yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much all that happened there. And, you know, but I think I understand also why the leader of Yavin right now is upset, because like every time Cassian does this, he does risk the safety, right, of the base. He does risk them being discovered. You know, there's a lot of risks that he's taking, but by now he should also know that Cassian's incredibly careful. Like, he's not the kind of guy that would ever risk everybody if he doesn't have to. So anyway, interesting, very tense episode. I love how they did a good job of mounting the tension as things get closer and closer to closing in on Clea and the group there. But yeah, it's very interesting to see the different ways that Clea has changed throughout this season. Like, some of these characters have had real arcs in this season from beginning to end, and it's really fun to see considering that we didn't have that many episodes. But yeah, looking forward to the finale. I enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.